New year, new plans, new us. Yes, as soon as January or the new year hits, we kind of come up with the plans and ideas and as to how we are going to optimize our health. Not only that, there are many other things, but since this channel is all about food, I will be talking about optimizing health and come up with some more ideas of preparing healthy meals. And this year, I have been actually looking forward to optimize my own health and to kind of come up with the more recipes, quick recipes that I can prepare anytime. That doesn't take a lot of time, and at the same time, I should be getting all the nutrients that my body needs. And just recently, I actually was developing recipes for one of my clients, Dr. Kalpana Ramji. She is a nutrition scientist and a nutrition coach as well. And I happened to come in contact with her. She actually contacted me to develop some recipes using her new milk complete protein. And while in the process of developing recipes for her, I kind of found this product very helpful for myself, even because it keeps me fuller for longer. And so I wanted to know more about this product from her. And I thought, just like me, maybe many of you even might be interested in knowing more about how you can put the meals together like quickly. And so I offered her to collaborate with me, and so now we have nutrition scientist or nutrition coach. She can give many of the answers that you might have. And today, actually, I am going to introduce her in this episode, and let's find out more from her. So let's welcome Dr. Kalpana Ramji. Hi, Kalpana. How are you?
Hi, Bhavna. I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me on your show.
Oh, thank you so much for accepting my collaboration. And I have a few questions for you today. I have actually a lot of questions, but for this session, I am going to ask you a couple of questions. So first of all, because this is our first time, I would like you to introduce yourself to all my viewers.
Sure, absolutely. Hello, everybody. My name is Dr. Kalpana Ramji. I am a nutrition scientist by training. I grew up in India and in Chennai, in southeast part of India, and I came in 1998 to study nutrition here in the US. I came as a very young graduate student and ended up finishing my PhD at the University of Connecticut. I actually did my PhD in dietary cholesterol and understanding the impact of dietary cholesterol on blood cholesterol levels, because that's actually a very big question for a lot of people that they say, I'm watching what I'm eating, I'm not eating a lot of saturated fats, but still my blood cholesterol levels are very high. And some people just eat whatever they want and their blood cholesterols are totally fine, right? So that was actually my area of research. I used animal models and also clinical trials to understand how each person vary in terms of their response to dietary cholesterol. So that was very exciting. And after my PhD, I did my fellowship at Harvard Medical School. I was a NIH funded scientist trainee. So I was able to look at different gene expressions and how they impact heart disease. So I think all along my interest is definitely metabolic disease. As a community, I think also we are actually at a risk for high metabolic disease like type 2 diabetes and high cholesterol and other issues. So those are some of my areas of interest. And I also believe in a lifestyle modification. So I want to help all my clients and all you viewers to get some information, science-based information, so you can make the right decisions.
Awesome. That was great information, Dr. Kalpana. Thank you so much. But before I move on to the next question, and I have actually surprise for you, Kalpana. Look what I made using your
Oh,
complete,
wow.
new meal like complete protein. So I tried today like our chilas, right? Puras chilas. So I added lots of vegetables in it, and just half cup of new milk complete protein, which is equivalent to the protein found in 3 eggs, right?
That's right.
So I am going to eat it guilt-free for lunch today, and I just wish that I could serve you as well. They taste amazing. I already tasted them. So like 1 cup gave me 1, 2, 7.
Oh wow.
7 like a small chilas. Like I love this size because it looks cute. New Milk Complete Protein is created by none other than Dr. Kalpana. And today actually I am going to make one of the recipe using complete milk. There are so many easy recipes I have developed that you can prepare in no time. And today's recipe I'm going to prepare is mixed vegetable cakes, or you can say puras, chilas. To prepare mixed vegetable savory cake, also known as chilas, into the mixing bowl, I'm going to take half cup of New Milk Complete Protein. To that, pinch of turmeric powder, cumin seeds, salt to taste, little bit of black pepper. I like to make recipes kind of spicier, but it's totally up to you. So just a little bit of black pepper. Give all these dry ingredients a good mix. I have one more dry ingredient, baking soda, which is optional, but I kind of like to add to make this vegetable cakes kind of little fluffier. So I'm going to add that last before I start making the cakes. Alright, next I have all the vegetables here, onion and tomato, carrot and bell pepper. Vegetables can be totally your choice. Coriander leaves, minced ginger and green chili, about teaspoon of oil. And I am making this recipe vegan and gluten free, but if you are following vegetarian diet, yogurt can be added as well. And you can simply leave out oil from this recipe if desired, but I am just going to go ahead and add everything. I just want to make sure that I haven't forgotten anything. So now let's mix it. I love how colorful it looks with all the colorful vegetables, cabbage, zucchini. There are endless possibilities for the vegetables, so you can just come up with your own favorite vegetables to add in this recipe. And now I'm going to add little water at a time and prepare thick batter and not thin batter, because vegetables will release water. So be sure to count that factor. Especially I have added tomatoes, so I just want to make sure that I do not add too much of water. If I need more water, I can always add later. Alright, so this is it. It took about like a quarter cup of water for half cup of flour. So I'm just going to now let it rest for about 5 minutes. So here I have the mixture ready, and now I'm going to make the cakes. For making the cakes, I'm just going to use this mini treat pancake maker. I simply love this pan, and it helps me to prepare kind of a good looking recipe. Instead of like making something bigger, I always love to prepare like a cute small things. So now let's make the cakes. Smells good. Alright, so the batter has been resting for more than 5 minutes now, and I'm going to add just pinch of baking soda because it's just a half cup of flour, so very little amount. So baking soda is going to be just a pinch, and I'm also going to sprinkle a little bit of water again. Alright, so let's start making the cakes. Actually, it's a pura. We Indian call it pura, chilas. Heat up the pan on a medium to high heat in the beginning, and once the pan is kind of a little bit hot, just reduce the heat on a low to medium, because we want to cook our cakes really well. And I am going to grease the pan with drop of oil. Spread the oil, and I'm using this ice cream scoop, 1 tablespoon ice cream scoop, to make the cakes even, and then just spread evenly. If you like crispy cakes, then spread thin, but I like mine like a little soft inside and crispy on the outside. Look how good it looks already. Making savory cakes is one of my favorite things to cook because it's quick, easy, and you can prepare healthy. One of my all-time favorite is zucchini cakes. Now, just a little bit of oil on the top as well, so when I flip the puras, the other side gets kind of crunchy as well. And I have the temperature on a low right now because I want to cook them really nice till golden brown. When the top looks little cooked, try and see if the bottom is done. It's almost kind of done, so I'm going to flip and cook now on the other side. So I love this. Now, as you can see, nice beautiful golden brown color. But if desired, you can cook a little bit longer for the crispiest texture, and I'm okay with even dark brown. So the bottom, actually, I am going to cook until it's nice and brown. Alright, so now let this cook. Alright, let's check the bottom. As you can see, I allowed it to cook till nice golden brown, actually a little dark brown, not golden brown color. So that is how I like them. And actually, I'm just going to go ahead and cook again the other side just a little bit, but I'm going to turn off the stove since the pan is hot enough to cook the other side. It's better to turn off the stove because you don't want to burn them. When ready to take out, take them out onto the paper towel. Look at this. Alright, so here I have all the vegetable cakes ready. Let's bring it onto the serving plate, or you can serve on the board like this. They fit perfectly. Look at this. This basically is like your vegan omelette, dose of vegan omelette, and let's taste it. It just feels like how I ate my traditional recipe known as puras, chilas, but kind of a little bit more healthier. Let's move on to the next question. So there are a lot of we, even I myself, debate a lot of time. Though I have been eating my traditional food, I grew up eating my traditional food, and so I still follow the same diet. I haven't made any changes so far in my diet, but we all debate at some point whether how healthy our Indian diet is, Indian vegetarian diet, especially because I am a vegetarian. So what would you like to share about our traditional Indian vegetarian diet?
Yeah, absolutely. I think in general we all have a relationship to the food that we grew up eating. I think it also goes through a full circle, right? Like I'm originally from South India, and when I grew up, I pretty much ate like South Indian food, which is idli, dosa, sambar, and all the rasam and kuttu kind of stuff. But when I was in college, right, I was exploring. I wanted to eat Indo-Chinese. I wanted to eat North Indian food. But then as I'm getting older, I'm actually going back to some of the foods that my mom made, which I would complain when I was a teenager and a young adult. So I think food plays a very, very important role for all of us. It is definitely an emotion because you recollect not just the food but the meal that you had either with a friend or a family. And in my opinion, I think the Indian vegetarian food is definitely one of the healthy food options. Again, I'm going to tell it with a little bit of caveat because right now, the way we are eating is not maybe the traditional way that we were eating Indian food, right? Right now, we're all very busy, our lifestyles have changed. So there's a little bit of a compromise, I would say, in how we balance out the food. But I think traditionally speaking, Indian food is definitely, I think they thought about the science well before they had put together everything. So, for example, Indian food already contains all the spices, right? Like turmeric. Now studies are showing that the curcumin is very important for a lot of metabolic health improvements, and we've actually known it way back when, and we use turmeric powder, haldi powder in our cooking. Same with cumin and coriander and black pepper. And if you recall, in India, when you get sick, you get the haldi doodh, like you put turmeric, and you actually put a little bit of black pepper. And I would always wonder, why would my mom put a little bit of black pepper on something that's very sweet, right? Because like you add honey at the end of the milk. And actually, now scientific studies are showing that the black pepper actually helps absorb the turmeric better. So whenever we had a turmeric in our meal, we would always also have the kali mirch, the black pepper powder. There's so much of science in it, and we were passed down a lot of things just as like tradition or recipes. But I think that was just an example. So Indian food definitely has all the spices which are very important right now, especially in the Western culture. There's so much awareness of all the spices and the benefits for health, right?
Golden
Yes.
milk now, right? The golden
Yes,
milk.
the golden latte.
There I added turmeric and black pepper. So I added black pepper, and to boost that black pepper, I mean, the power of turmeric. I didn't know before, but then when you mentioned, I just kind of thought that I added like turmeric and black pepper in it.
Yeah, that's typical.
Yes, but
No, at all. And those look really yummy. I hope you are close by. I could drive and join you for a meal.
yes.
So I think overall, the Indian diet, the thing right now, I think Indian diet has taken a hit, right? Like people are more into like the Mediterranean diet or whatnot, other diets. Of course, Mediterranean diet is really healthy too. But I feel the Indian diet is also equally healthy. If you traditionally look at our plate, right, we have a lot of vegetables, right? The Indian food is very, 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 very special in the sense there's nothing you can repeat. Like there's so many options we have, and there's so much variety. So we've already built a palette that is varied, right? It could be eggplant, it could be okra, it could be squash, it could be potatoes, it could be kacha kela. It's just so many options. And traditionally, what we also do is we would have our grains, which is either the rice or wheat based. And rice actually is very easily digestible. So I think that's kind of why, especially in the coastal areas, rice is like the main staple. And in the heart of India, it's wheat because of the growing conditions. A lot of the food habits are also determined by what grows in that area and what is available. So if you look at a traditional meal, there is grain. There is also some lentils. So most people are vegetarians, right? Again, right now there's a little bit of a crossover. Like I grew up as a very strict vegetarian, but I eat eggs now. And so there are varied levels of vegetarianism within India, right? So, but I think if you look at the meal plate, it has a lot of vegetables. It has yogurt, which again is shown to have the probiotic, prebiotic benefits. And we also were very smart that we combined grains and lentils to form a complete protein. Because one of the things I've been working with clients to get them into their healthy journey, and the big thing I notice is that we don't get sufficient amount of good quality protein.
Yeah.
And traditionally, what they would do is they would combine rice and a lentil like a khichdi. So you get that complete protein because rice doesn't have some of the amino acids and the lentils don't have the amino acids. So they are actually combined to create that whole nutrition. So I think I know as much as the Mediterranean diet is really popular, I'm hoping to spread the message that eating Indian food in a very sensible way will create a balance for all of our life and also for our palate.
Yes, I think it is very important to have like a kind of a discipline, I would say, because we are exposed to like a lot of variety of food out there, and readily available, especially in the USA. Like as soon as you walk out onto the street, and you just find any fast food and these that so much of a so we kind of are tempted to just go ahead and get that. And just because that we don't know maybe like how to put the whole meal together, which is it's not that hard.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, we do need guide, and we do need recipes that can help us to prepare like a complete meal. And so my third question for you now is, so what inspired you to I mean, you already mentioned few things that you want to like um, share that Indian food is equally healthy as some other cuisine. But I would really love to know like more details of like what inspired you to create New Meal Complete Protein.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have actually been helping a lot of clients get healthy, lose body fat, and my approach is actually using Indian food because that's the sustainable version. You could do any of the diets for a short period of time, but to have it sustainable, you need to incorporate something into a mainstream. So many of my clients happen to be vegetarians, and they actually resorted to protein shakes as one of the way to get their protein. I've done that myself too, and you probably have done that too, but it's not very appetizing, right? It's very chalky. It's just so hard to and then what I would do is I would put in like greens, I would put strawberries, and then it becomes this big jug of protein shake that I would spend whole day just trying to just chug it in. My whole philosophy is again eating balanced meals, eating all the food group, right? Eating your carbs, your protein, your fat, and your fiber, and all your naturally occurring vitamins and minerals through your food. And so I was a little bit against protein shake because A, it is not tasty. B, traditionally we should eat a meal, not drink a meal. I know we are all in this fast culture where everything is like, my clients would say, hey, can I take a smoothie and just take it to go and drink it in the car. A lot of the food signals also come from your brain, so you need to get that feeling of satiety. And so I'm working with hundreds of clients, and I've completed the healthy transformation. I felt that there was not a product in the market that could fit all the buckets I need. I needed something that was a low to moderate carb, because most of the flours are keto flour or other flours where there's no carb. And especially for women, we need to eat carbs during the second half of our cycle. And so I wanted something that was more balanced. And I also looked into the fact that most vegetarians and vegans, we do not get a complete protein, right?
Right.
The best comparison would be quinoa. Like if you have half a cup of quinoa, you get a complete protein, but you still get 6 grams of protein. So you're getting way less protein than what we need. And typically, women need to eat at least in that 50 to 60 grams of good quality protein. And so I created New Meal with the vision that, hey, if we could just eat 2 chapatis and, get like the nutrition from there. I thought that was my kind of brain moment that why do we need to have these supplements when we can bring it into our main plate. And we have a lot of grains. We have quinoa, we have barley, we have steel cut oats, but there was no alternate for making rotis. And I worked with a lot of North Indian clients, and they didn't have the time to make the jowar roti and all of those lower gluten flour. So I came up with research and development. I looked at like how I could bring in all the nutrient into one packet, and that's new meal for you guys. So half a cup is equivalent to a complete protein that is equivalent to 3 eggs. So you eat your chapati and you still get your protein. That's kind of my concept. And again, it doesn't have to be just chapati. You could just use it either independently, or you could mix it in flour and just enhance your nutrition in your plate.
Right. Yep. That's amazing. Excuse me. I think I need water. So yes. I mean, as you mentioned, like it's complete, and of course, it's kind of hard. I mean, I have been preparing my own mix, the flour mix, in which I would mix like a wheat flour with almond milk, amaranth flour, which is our Rajgira flour, we call it. So, I would combine a different flour to make it a little bit more healthier and to bring the carb down. But sometimes it's just hard, like how much to put in. You know what I mean to say? Because obviously I'm not a nutritionist, and so it just kind of makes it difficult for me to come up with the measurement that okay, how much I can use almond milk, how much I can use amaranth flour. So yeah, this is really helpful for me because all I have to do is just whip up with some ingredients like I did today. Just flour, some vegetables, water, and voila, you have amazing, like great tasting, chillas. So I still have as I mentioned earlier, I have so many questions for you, Kalpana, but I think this is it for today, and we will come up with more questions, and probably our viewers might have questions as well. So we'll, get together again. But for now, thank you so much for coming and sharing your knowledge with us in today's session. And yeah, I will see you soon.
Thank you for having me, Bhavna, and I look forward to any questions your viewers have, and I'm happy to help.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kalpana.
Bye-bye.
Bye. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and we are going to have ongoing collaboration with Dr. Kalpana Ramji on different topics. So feel free to ask any questions you have. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for new recipes and topics every week. You can visit my website bhavnaskitchen.com for new recipe tips, tricks, and ideas in the kitchen. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, TikTok. Bhavna's Kitchen is everywhere. You can download Bhavna's Kitchen app totally free on your iOS, Android, and many other mobile devices. You can watch me on a big TV screen using Roku, Amazon Fire, or YouTube app itself. Thanks for watching, and see you soon.